pages. I'm Django with the gauges, freeing slaves held captive by their ankles in the cages. Feed them Drano like a sadist. Peaceful, but still a guard of war like Kratos and Atreus. Reactionary, taking bets while hitting Vegas next. Who gonna respond to the greatest threat? It feels like your crazy ex sent you an angry text. I'm Bruce Lee in the game of death. That's the main event. I ain't impressed. Wait a sec, no pushback. If RJ the best, Little Wayne respect. Counting a million, Bangladesh came to flex, but watching what's happening, I gave respect. Waiting my circle like a radius. I stay possessed. Spirit of competition, divinity. Cool, this what the fans need. Electricity, and I'm the power source, the epitome of efficiency. Jasper Sullivan at a cup. I see you finicky calligraphy. Balancing the pinnacle of secrets. Mystery.
It's good. Thanks for that. So look, we're gonna get the people in here. I just sent the invites out. Right now, I'm waiting on Cass and Crooked. Royce is telling me that the sound is messed up. Okay, Royce is telling me that he might not be able to make it, but we're still gonna get Cass and Crooked in here. So I'm just waiting for them to pull up. We a little bit early, so you know how that go. We're gonna get this thing started the right way. In the event that Royce doesn't pull up, then we'll probably get a Southern MC to pull up. I just kind of wanted to have a discussion about, you know, this particular quote unquote science that everybody speaking of, and see what people think and how, you know, they got their style and how they came up with their style. You know what I mean? So that's basically the reason for this. It's not about for me, this particular discussion is not about content. It's strictly about how they put specific things together. It has nothing to do with content or if something is outdated or updated. That's not what this conversation is about. This conversation is strictly for the foundational usage of what people do. So I'm waiting on tag Cass, Crooked, Royce, you know what I'm saying? I sent them the invites. They already know they gotta pull up. So we just waiting on them, and then we'll get it going. You know what I mean? We appreciate this. This was something that Royce was like, yo, let's get on the live. He called me. He's like, yo, let's get on the live. Let's have this discussion about this. And see if you could get Cass to get on. I hit Cass. Cass is definitely with it. So we want to, you know, have this discussion. So yeah, tag King Crooked, tag text Cass again. But Cass knows to be here. So it's one of those joints where we're just gonna have the discussion. I want to know where, you know, from the East Coast standpoint of Philly, you know, who inspired Cass. From the West Coast standpoint, who inspired Crooked, right? Like, because if you think about that style of rapping, it doesn't really come from the West Coast too much, right? And then the Midwest, obviously, is Eminem and Royce. So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, where are you guys pulling from? How did you guys come up with this? And how does this affect your writing process? When you're putting together written freestyles, how does this affect your songwriting process? How does this affect your ghostwriting process, if they're ghostwriters? I wanted to tackle a lot of things with this discussion. So, you know, we just waiting for everybody to pull up. you know, everybody agreed to do it, so we just waiting for them to pull up. You know what I mean? Okay, so I just got the message. Yeah, Royce will not be pulling up today. Royce will not be pulling up today. Royce, the 5'9", will not be pulling up today. He is not going to be pulling up today. We want to see how this one goes first, Joe Budden Podcast. I want to just test it out, see how this goes, and then I'm going to, you know, think of some things to put into perspective on my Patreon. Yes, just got the message. Royce will not be pulling up today. So, I mean, we can always reschedule. I have no problem rescheduling. I have no problem with it. It was definitely Royce's idea. He didn't back out. He has some family things to take care of. He did not back out. But, it's Joel's birthday today. Happy birthday. Yo, it's a lot of cancers. No, yesterday was Royce's birthday. Yesterday was Royce's birthday. And today is Joel's birthday. Everybody saying bring Lloyd Banks. Yeah, I don't know. Banks don't respond to he don't be answering no IG lives. Y'all can forget about that. He don't answer no IG lives. That's my guy. I love him to death. Last project, super fire. My man Cartoon Beats did a couple joints on there. He ain't answering no lives. You can forget about that. Banks ain't doing it. I'm gonna hit some other guys up to see, but I mean, we still need the initial people to come in. We still need Crooked to come in, and we still need Cass to come in. Everybody agreed. I just want that to be known. Everybody agreed to do this. Okay. No. If you're not a high level lyricist rapper, please don't send me requests to be a part of this live. Please. This is bugging. Hold up, I'm logging in on my computer, so I could DM Royce. And maybe we could get Elzai in here. Let's see. I mean, at this point, I might as well bring this nigga in. At this point, I don't know what the hell is going on. Maybe he can't join either. Everybody wildin', and now I can't sign into my Twitter. We might have to reschedule it.
My fifth love. What up, Mick?
What's going on, man?
What's up?
It feels like I'm trying to put together the All City Chess Club at this point.
Oh, that nigga Royce stood you up, huh?
Yeah.
Sounds like Royce.
Sounds like Royce.
Sounds like something Royce would do.
Even still, we waiting.
Like, doing something important, like starting a revolution or like, protesting against police violence. And, I would hate to be in your position. You know what I'm saying? That would be bad. Something this simple. Wow. Anyway, what's up, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Finna latest. I'm writing raps, recording my next record. Um, Trying to figure out what I want to do with it. But continue. Go ahead. It ain't stopping nothing. I'm just laying pieces. That's all.
Yeah. Nah, I figure we get somebody in here until Cass and Crooked pull up.
Oh, nice. That's dope. Yeah, when they come in, I'll jump out.
Right.
Hold on. Let me lay this. Steps to the feast. Eat pieces and Greek seats and Greek seats, butts and marks. Feel that they can't be beat. Till it's laurels on the necks and pecks on the champion cheeks. You know, as independent artists, we gotta record ourselves because ain't no budgets for them studios though, Bo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we know how you do. We know how you do. Well, yeah, you recording? You
No,
recording?
but it's not work for me anymore. It's what they call it.
Leisure?
No, it's my craft. You know, once it goes from work to craft, you could do this all day. You know?
All day long. Yeah, that's true.
What's up? What you want to know?
So while we wait for these guys, I wanted to ask you, in terms of your science, right?
Mm.
Where did you feel like you had to pick up from to create your own stuff?
Mm. Mm. You know, I don't think I got into a position to create my own work until, man, maybe my like fourth, fifth album.
Mm.
Thinking album wise.
Right.
Even when I think of the mixtapes were me trying to do my best impression. Remember that Jay-Z line, doing your best Jay-Z rendition?
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I was doing that for a majority of my career. I was doing my best Ghostface rendition. I was doing my best AZ rendition. I was doing my best whomever, Lil Wayne, Drake rendition, whatever. Just through my career. So think of mixtapes, you rapping on somebody else's beat, you trying to like
Out them.
out them in their own style, that stuff. And it wasn't until I got to like my fifth real release of an album and all of the stuff that was surrounding that record where I was able to just like, okay, I think this is me. Like this is my first piece.
Right.
Where I was like, that's my signature, that's me. Everything before, not everything, but the stuff before that was just like take Jay-Z style, mix it with Ghostface style, and then like see what happens.
Right.
And then even technically it was like, you know, to do Jay-Z style, you gotta do Jay-Z techniques.
Right.
You know, to do Killer Sin, right? Or Beretta 9 techniques, you gotta do their techniques. So whatever they was doing is what you were doing. Initially, my first piece, where I was like, okay, I'm finna start learning how to rap, was I used to play Reasonable Doubt, so I would Dead Presidents, and the whole song, and I would just write over Jay. Like I would do my verses over Jay-Z.
Right.
Rapping. And then prior to that, I didn't even write shit to beats. It wasn't even to beats. Like I would write just like a 30 bar verse and try and go into the studio to someplace and try and rap it. And it was like, bruh, that shit's not to a beat. So I think that's my story. I think I'm sticking to it.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, for me, I listened to Kane and then Biggie and then everybody else that came up there, and then obviously every lyricist stopped rapping when they heard Cannabis. And then, you know, we just felt like he said everything. At that point, we just felt like Cannabis said everything that needed to be said as a rapper. So it was like, this is pointless to kind of do. And then I tried to start emulating cannabis and doing and just saying off the wall shit. And I think that's how I really got into the kind of metaphor style. And then obviously, you know, I liked Eminem style. I liked Crooked style. And I just felt like these guys were pushing the envelope in the early 2000s. So it was like, okay, how can I incorporate this into what this cannabis style that I already have? And then I discovered Graph, and I saw what Graph was doing syllable wise. And it was like, okay, let me take a little bit of this, and let me take a little bit of this, and let me take a little bit of that. And let me just create who I am with my style. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's how I came up with, you know what I'm saying, what I came up with. In terms of like songwriting, right? Do you feel like you have to be as technical as possible when it comes to songwriting? Like when you listen to something like, you know, Superstar, right? You know, fresh cool young Lupe, you know what I'm saying? And you do this technical style throughout the whole verse, right? Was that intentional, or was it just felt like it was something that just came to fruition at that time?
I think it's I literally, like, I'm recording this joint right now, right? And like mad simple. And it was like, okay, and it's funny you asked that, right? Because it's like I was just thinking like, oh, you know, if the hook is simple, and for me, what the song is about is the hook,
Right.
right? Like what I want you to take away from the song or get inspired by in terms of like utility is the chorus,
Right.
right? So the emotions, the life instructions is in this chorus. So the verses now just become, you know, a space to just do gymnastics. You know what I'm saying? It's like as if say like Stand Up to Cancer, right? Like a cancer foundation,
Mm-hmm.
an event, right? And it was like a circus, you know, like, yeah, the goal is like stand up to cancer. We're gonna use the money to fight cancer. We're gonna have a, you know, that's kind of like the hook.
Right.
But the meat of everything is like clowns and animals and trapeze artists and stuff like that. But it's still like, you know, it's still like at the end of the day, I want you to be more aware of the situation with cancer and be doing something to kind of improve it. So when you take something like Superstar, it is that like, oh, the chorus is fine. Like the chorus is great. It's a smash. So now I can use these three verses to just, you know, play a little with this, you know, riff poetically about a particular thing in the world, you know, take a concept and flip it, and tie it all back. As long as I tie it back to the title of the song and the chorus, then
Right.
I'm good, right? But I got to do something within these three bars, you know, these three verses, right? Like these 3 minutes. So I think it's that I kind of use the choruses as an excuse to do a bunch of lyrical stuff, but then at the same time too, you know, you got songs that don't have choruses, or you have songs that like my choruses might be super complex, or in some cases everything is super simple. Like the chorus is super simple, the verses are super simple. Like Kick Push, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't think it's a metaphor in Kick Push. Like I don't think it's a simile or anything in there. A simile, not a metaphor, but like a simile or a punchline in Kick Push at all. You know?
That was just you telling the story, and I think, you know, that's obviously a part of you know, the technique that we do too. You know, storytelling is a part of, you know, technique. But I agree that the most important part of a song is the chorus. Like the chorus is what you want people to be stuck with from here on henceforth. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, do lyricists concern themselves more with the gymnastics and the verses over the choruses when it comes to certain records and certain songs and things of that nature? Do you feel like that it takes a backseat to stuff like that?
I mean, I'll use the example of Aesop Rock, IT. He doesn't care about choruses at all. Like if you listen to Aesop Rock's albums, like the production will be fire and crazy. The verses will be on a whole nother planet. But the chorus is just be like, I just need to put something right there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it becomes, well, you know, well, what's the intention and the goal for somebody who's rapping at that level, right? Or rapping at that, you know, or came up in an era where the chorus was just kind of like, you know, the thing that in between verses somebody like you or me who had kind of like major label deals, and it was about getting songs on the radio. You know, learn, okay, how to make a chorus that's still dope, that's still lyrical, that doesn't betray my skills as an MC, but then also could potentially be like, quote unquote, a smash record, you know, that could, you know, get played on Hot 97 or Power 106 or whatever, right? So I think it's depending on what culture of MC that you come from, and then what's your intentions and your goals directly affect like your chorus game, you know, because like for A$AP Rock IT example, not to say that the choruses are whack or anything like that, but it just becomes like when you listening, you like, I can't wait till you get back to the verses. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait till the verse start again, as opposed to some artists where it's like, I wish this nigga would shut up so we can get to these choruses, so I can get back to the hook. You know? Crooked, what's up, brother?
What's going down with y'all, man?
Good. Just placeholding, waiting for y'all legends and rappers to get in here.
Oh, man. Come on, man. You know, we just, I was happy for the invite, dog. Like the last time when you guys were speaking, half my face was this big and shit. I had to go get a double root canal, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to join in that conversation bad, and I was willing to do it anyway, but I'm kind of happy I didn't, because, you know, we might have went viral for the wrong reasons, you know? What's good with y'all?
Oh, man, we chilling. Well, just to update you, so Royce texted me about 10 minutes ago, and he said, you know, he was going to be handling some stuff with his family. He's not at the studio right now, but he was like, you know, still do the joint with Crooked and Cass. We still obviously waiting for Cassidy to come in. So during that interim, you know what I'm saying, I had Lou come in just to keep the, you know, entertained until you or Cass popped in. So
to keep the real estate value up. I get it.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So Crook, you know.
Crook, you know why you had to get that double root canal, right?
Why is that?
All them raps you've been biting on all these years. You know what I'm saying? Back. That's what happened.
That's what happened? Nah, they just sweet. I'm sweet with it, you know?
So Crook, man,
yes,
as a kid in the Bronx, you know, shout out to DJ Unexpected. I remember, you know, him always getting the vinyls early, and he found this vinyl of you ciphering with Chino XL IT, and you know, that was my introduction to who you were,
right?
And you know, for me, at that time, I think my age, I might have been about 17 years old, right? And you know, you were pushing boundaries, right? Feel wasn't being done at that particular level. Like, you know, I spit impossible rhymes, full of philosophical lines, my phenomenal shine to leave every one of your opticals blind, run you over apocalypse time, half man, half diesel like Optimus. I know that whole shit, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and you've been keeping that kind of incredible format and style and science up for a very long time. And we're talking 1998, 1999. So my question to you is this, like, what inspired you to get into that pocket of lyricism when it comes to the science? Who inspired that? And what continued to keep you inspired to keep that kind of style going for 20 odd years and still being one of the top MCs ever? You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you, my brother. You know, Rakim, Coogee, Rap, KRS-One, the DOC, you know what I'm saying, Antoinette. It's just so many who came before us who left their mark on the game, but they put their own twist on it, and they expanded the possibilities of what you could do with your ink pen.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, I always say this story. This old guy told me, if you one of the best at something, you won't be poor again. You know what I'm saying? So growing up how I grew up, it was very important for me to be the best. I didn't come in the game and say, you know, I want to have hit records. And I'm not mad. You know, some people come in the game like that and they execute that shit, you know what I'm saying, very nicely.
Right.
I came in the game and said, I want to be one of the best with the pen.
Right.
I want to be one of the best ever to do this. And that was my mission. So on that type of a mission, you got to study. You got to start, you know what I mean, trying to figure out how you could do. I mean, like, the goal is to master every flow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We want to master every tempo. We want to master every speed of the beat. We want to master, you know, punchlines, metaphors, cadences, you know, storytelling. We want to master inner rhymes, outer rhymes, slant rhymes, imperfect rhymes, perfect rhymes. We want to master it all. And
Right.
then after we master it all, we want to innovate and start figuring out how we could create things that haven't been done. You feel me? So
Right.
that
Right.
has always been my energy. And it's been a little bit of a challenge for me because I'm on the West, where a lot of the rap media, they like to keep the lyricists in a box on the West, and they like to put the highlight on whatever they think is popping in the club. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool, but for years we had all these lyricists over here that a lot of people don't know about, still don't know about. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you know, it was a fight, bro. It was a fight, and it still is. You know what I'm saying? To get you would think that a Kendrick Lamar would solve that problem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's still an issue. So we rap with a chip on our shoulder still. You know what I'm saying? And it's dope, man. It's just, you know, everybody who came before me, man, to answer your question. That's all the greats, bro. I just studied them.
Now, from my standpoint, because again, as you could tell, like just from me, you know, reciting that freestyle, you could just tell, like I'm a student of what you do. So,
Right.
in terms of the flow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you pick up? And I could be wrong, I could be completely off base here, but did you pick up from your Northern Cali brothers in Oakland and the Bay Area with that kind of flow and that kind of cadence? Because again, like the way they rap and the way they do that hyphy stuff up top, you know what I'm saying, with shout out to the OGs, you know, not too short, so to speak, but I can't think of his name right now.
Mac Dre.
Mac Dre.
Rest in peace, Mac Dre.
Mac Dre's
Mr.
one.
Fab.
Mr. Fab is a little
Later.
bit, but the big homie, who I forgot the big homie, he was on
E40.
E40, right? E40.
Right.
Was you a fan of E40 in that particular way to kind of take just the flow, right? Like not stylistically, not anything that he was doing, but just the flow pattern because of how you weave in and out of different styles, right? And how it's perfectly on the beat. So it's like, this is at that time, like that wasn't done at that level in terms of flowing and with the lyricism on top of that. Like you had the Fushnikins and you had guys that were doing it fast, you know, like Bone and Twista, but like not where you could kind of understand it, and it was like a staccato when you was doing your rhyme pattern, right? So was that something that you was influenced by from those guys up top?
You know what, dog? What the guys up top influenced me was game. You know what I'm saying? Particularly, you know, game when it came to women. Like when we go listen to Too Short and E40, we learned as kids a lot of game when it comes to dealing with women. You know, some of it wasn't all good either. Some of it's toxic as fuck.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
that's what we kind of picked up from them, man. As far as my style go, you know, I picked that up from places like Miles Davis. You see what I'm saying? Like my voice, I always saw my voice as an instrument on the beat, another instrument. So, and I would allow the beat to talk to me and tell me what type of rhythm am I supposed to come with on here. I let the music talk to me, the drums, the chords. You know what I'm saying? And then I might scat like a jazz musician. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba,
Right.
ba-da-ba, ba-ba-ba. You know what I'm saying? And then I say, oh, I need to put words to that. Or I might just start freestyling until something starts to fit in a pocket real natural to me and say, okay, this is the cadence for this. This is the pattern. Or it might just come to me. But the barrage of constant coming at you, that came from, you know, like the Miles Davis solos when he used to improvise and just he just would go off. Or watching Bruce Lee in the movie taking on 20 dudes and he just whooping ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, those were the real influences for the syllables coming at you. Like, listen, dog, I'm in the hood. I'm broke. We hungry. We got to get the fuck out of here. I'm finna spray everything in my way. That was the energy, you know what I'm saying, that birthed my style.
Right. Now, because you already answered this question, because you said you came in the game not to make hit records. You came in the game to be, right? And I think a lot of us come into the game thinking that, like, yo, I want to just be the best. So when it did come to creating specific songs, that you feel like, did you feel like with specific songs you had to lessen what you were doing and what you're known for in terms of the pen and the syllables? And if so, what is your version of quote unquote dumbing it down to that level, right?
I mean, you know what's the beautiful part is, Mickey? When you really allow the music to talk to you. You know when it's time to step on the gas pedal and when it's not.
Right.
Some fans, they might not like it because they feel like, oh, you could have gassed that beat way harder. Right. But the beat wasn't calling for 100 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour. The beat was calling for 30 miles an hour, 35, cruise, top down, vibing, palm trees outside, sun shining. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really listen to the music, it will talk to you and tell you, this is what you need to do here, you know? And sometimes, you know, if I made music strictly for how, you know, what people think I should be doing, my music would sound a lot different. You feel me? Because a lot of people see you on a BET cypher and then they feel like that's how all your raps need to sound. Stay right there. You know what I mean? But we didn't tell Andre 3000 to stay right there. You know what I'm saying? We didn't tell none of the other greats to stay right there. So it's like you get put in this box where people want you to gas everything because they know you can. They've heard you do something phenomenal with words and they feel like that's what's supposed to happen every time. But I'm listening to the music and the music might be telling me, nah, bro, vibe out on this. Don't even trip on all those words and syllables and metaphors and punchlines. Just vibe out on this. And now you got to blame the music. The listener, if they don't like the verse, blame the music because I'm just following them. The music is guiding me.
Right. I want to shift gears into ghostwriting. Right.
Okay.
As lyricists, you know, a lot of us, you know, we've lent our pen to a lot of people.
Right.
And, a lot of times people might think it's because, you know, quote unquote, they can't do it. But you know, sometimes people just, you know, in music, I feel like it's one of those things where it's a collaborative effort when you're trying to create a specific kind of thing, right?
Right.
Also, sometimes people just be too busy to just to kind of pen something on their own. Their creative juices are not there because they're thinking of something else or doing other things.
True.
So my question to you is, right, obviously we don't need to know who you potentially may have wrote for or anything. We don't need no hints or nothing like that. But what I want to know is, when you go into a specific situation when you're writing someone else's rhymes, whether it's a group session or whether it's just you by yourself, are you cognizant of using your style, or are you trying to emulate the person's style, or are you trying to create a brand new style for the song, like you were saying previously, whatever the song calls for?
When I'm writing for somebody, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to get it to them. You know what I mean? I'm trying to interview them first, I'm trying to figure out exactly where they trying to come. Like, take this for instance, the Wu-Tang Saga on Hulu.
Right.
A lot of people don't know that I wrote 80% of the rhymes that were being said on that series.
That's crazy.
You see what I'm saying? Because I had to go into my Wu bag. You feel me? I had to be like, you know what? It's the 90s and we in New York.
Wow.
So I went into, you know what I'm saying, I got me a suite and I just bumped all 90s New York music for like 2 days straight.
Wow.
And then I came out and said, all right, this is what I want to do. You know what I mean? Because I want to make sure that the word choice is on point. I want to make sure that if it is a punchline, that it matches with the era that I'm writing for. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I want to make sure that the certain cadences, as you know, each member, the cadences, some changed over time, some went to other directions. You know, method is more water. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Ray is more, you know, coming at you like that. So it's like, it was a whole lot. And it ain't that they couldn't write it themselves. It was like you just said, it's like, you know, you got schedules, you got all kind of things. And, you know, RZA, he trusts my pen and he like, yo, him and King Tech from the Wake Up Show was like, yo, can you come through here and can you write this Wu shit for these actors to say? And they're going to learn every word and say it. And, you know, I just jumped into that, you know what I mean? And a lot of people, you know, they might not be able to do that, but I appreciate all music. Right. I've never been a hater when it comes to regions. I've never been a hater when it comes to, you know, cities and all that. I soaked up everything. So, you know, I'll do that. On the flip side, you know, if I'm writing for somebody over here and he just like, I got a project coming up that I got to write for some guys and, you know what I'm saying, they on some hood shit. That's just it. They don't want to hear no whole bunch of scientific bars and they don't want to go deep. They don't want no black science in their shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. They want some hood shit.
Right.
I'm good with that. I experienced that in my life. You know what I mean? I know how to tell that story. So it just all depends on who you're writing for. And I just really want them to feel comfortable reciting it. Like, yeah, I feel like this is some shit I would, you know, I would have thought of because, you know, I'm just trying to I'm tailoring it up for them, bro. That's it, my G. And you already know this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let me ask you a question about not Slaughterhouse per se, but Eminem, right? Now, do you feel like M may have kind of absorbed some, I don't want to say technique, but absorbed some energy of these four MCs together all the time, you know, creating these massive, you know, rap like this, like Slaughterhouse was like, you know, the 2000, the late 2000, early 2000 version of Wu-Tang in the internet era. Like this was like a movement, right? I feel like that was the first time that from my perspective, as just as a fan, where M was around nothing but like guys that were great at what they did with the pen. Do you feel like at that time he saw what you guys were doing is like, yo, I got to step my shit up?
I mean, he said that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he said it. He was like, yo, I was inspired by you guys, you know what I mean? And the things that we were doing, it had to be fun. Like, I don't give a fuck who over there right now at Shady Records, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It had to be very fun for Marshall to be around four MCs from his era.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That understood the mechanics.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, I mean, I know it would be for me. You know what I'm saying? And if I was in his position, and I know how, you know, Royce pushed my pen, I pushed Royce's pen, Joe, like everybody pushed each other. So M being from that same cloth, it just all made sense. I mean, he could have been the fifth member of Slaughterhouse and just fit right in.
Right.
No problem. You know what I'm saying? So we all come from the same cloth. And it's dope that he's open enough to admit that.
Right.
Mickey.
Right.
Because a lot of these MCs out here, they'll shoot you that text, but they won't say it publicly. You know what I'm saying? You already know. If you showed your screenshots of your text right now, you'll be moving up motherfuckers' list. You feel me?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, for Marshall to come out and say, yo, he says it in public. Oh, those guys, that's the most lyrical rap group I ever heard. Yo, they inspire me to do this. Yo, when I got a rap and Crooked is in the room, I get anxiety because I know I got to come with some shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's saying all that because he understands that if I be honest about this, there's a lot of people who might not understand the depth of these guys' talent. But if I'm honest about it, maybe they'll figure that shit out and maybe they'll get his fans into it or whatever. And I salute him for that because, dog, I'm tired of people calling me and texting me and telling me, you know, oh, this shit is great. Oh man, how did you do that? Oh man, I learned so much from you. And then I see the list come out and it's people that learn from me on the list instead of me.
Talk about it. It's nasty work out here. It's nasty. Yo,
it's funny.
I don't know if Cass gonna pull up. So this is gonna be my last question.
Word.
So the last live we did,
you
know, Ransom and RJ Payne was on there, and RJ Payne made that statement that, you know, the best rappers rapping right now.
Right.
And you know, obviously, you know, Royce responded how he responded. And when you got on the live today, you was like, yo, you wish you could have been on here to kind of give your 2 cents.
Right.
So, you know, as someone who, you know, who's been doing this for a long time and never really spit a whack verse, you know, I used to download all of them joints on Napster.
Man, I appreciate it, bro.
Fine between 99 and 2003, you know. So from your perspective, how do you feel about that statement from RJ and Ransom? And, you know, what's your thoughts on that?
I think that they got the right energy. You know what I'm saying? I think that you're supposed to come in here thinking, hey, man, I want to be the best. I am the best. Like when you putting out your best shit and you comparing it to other people's, you probably thinking, shit, I'm serving these motherfuckers right now, you know?
Right.
And, you know, I felt like that before. You know, when I was doing the first weekly, I felt like ain't nobody fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? So I can't fault them for thinking like that they're the best. My only thing is when somebody says that they're the best, right?
Right.
This is how I'm gonna break it down. When somebody said, and this is not to them, this is to anybody. If you the best, then I'm expecting you to have every tool in the toolkit, right? So you're gonna have to have different cadences because that's one thing that really trips me out. Like if you got one style, one flow pattern, even if you're Hall of Fame with that one thing, you're not the best.
You're not the best. I agree with that.
Because you have to have more than one. There's no one size fits all on every beat. And that's the reason why certain shit ain't sounding right, because you're approaching the beat with the same style every single time. Now, in the toolkit, we got our metaphors in there. We got our storytelling in there. We got our punchlines. We got our different cadences. We got our breath control. We got all these things in the toolkit. Now, if you have all those things in the toolkit, you still can't say you're the best yet, because what if I know how to use my tools better than you? There's a mechanic who's better than another mechanic, and they working with the same tools. You know what I'm saying? So what if I know how to use my tools better than you? Then there's a lot of secrets when I listen to certain guys who are, you know, they having fun saying certain things, but I listen after 20 plus years of doing this syllable flow shit. I listen to certain things and I say, you know what? I can help that dude like that. I could tell that dude one thing and up the value of everything he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that guy sometimes already thinks he's there. You see what I'm saying? Right. So you got to be open. You know what I mean? I came in early in the game, 95, 96. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been beyond 20 years.
That's what I'm
You know what I mean? And when I did my first big project was with Corrupt, you know what I mean, on Step Up.
Right.
And I said, deliver the sick verbals. That's, you know, sick verbals was the outside rhyme. Deliver the sick verbals. My shotty spit around. before you hit the ground. Your body spin around in 6 circles. I said that in 99.
Crazy.
You see what I'm saying?
Crazy.
And that's a 3-5-5. That's a 3-5-3-5-3. 3 syllables on the outside, 5-3-5 on the inside rhymes. You feel me? So I was doing that kind of piece in 99.
Crazy.
And all I've been doing since that very day is studying on how to become better over 2 decades. You see what I mean? So sometimes when I see dudes, I'm not going to ever come out and try to be like, nah, steal somebody thunder. I want everybody to make it, dog. That's just who I am. I really want everybody to be blessed, get their paper, have success, enjoy life. This shit too short. But if we talking rap and we talking bars, to make that statement, you gotta be in that real elite level. And sometimes it only takes the other elite listeners and elite artists to put you there.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. Thank you.
Because these rap media guys are, when they compile these lists and they talk about shit, there's maybe like 3 elite verses on the whole top 20 list of verses. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, we know, the Jedis know what's popping. You know what I'm saying? Right. The Jedis know what's popping. But shout to RJ Payne and Ransom, because I think them dudes are doing a hell of a thing right now. You know, Leatherface 3, I'll rotate that. You know what I'm saying? Ransom got Heavy as the Crown or something coming out in a minute. I'm going to be supporting that. They cut from our cloth. Yes. I got to support that. You know what I mean? They cut from our cloth. I'd rather be talking about that than some other shit. You know what I'm saying? So I really salute them on that, man. I just need everybody to understand one thing before we wrap up, though. There's a real bias going on out there, Mickey. They still don't want to give West Coast lyricists that just do. They still don't. And let me tell you, part of that is our fault over here on the West, because we don't have enough rap media outlets over here really going hard for our Jedi masters. You see what I'm saying? We don't have enough, and we live in Hollywood. It's Hollywood over here. We got all the cameras. Turn them on, baby. Turn them fucking cameras on, because right now it's an imbalance, man. And I was listening to PSA Hip Hop with Watson and 3, and Watson said some real shit. He was like, I really think that, you know, a lot of people don't mention Crooked because of regional bias. And I've been going through that for 20-something years, you know, and it never used to bother me. I didn't give a fuck. But now that my career is on its sunset and I'm thinking of other things to do to express my love for hip hop, I'm thinking of other ways to do it besides being on stage and in the booth. Now that it's sunsetting on my career, I'm like, hold up. I didn't put 20 years into innovating shit. I didn't put 20+ years into shaking the dice. I could have made club joints when I had soundtrack singles. I could have did all types of other wild, trendy shit. Right. But I stuck to my motherfucking ink pen and kept trying to chip away at how do I design a verbal pyramid out here. You know what I'm saying? I stuck to that for the culture, for the next MC that's coming up, that's all about the craft. I'm not going to sit back and just let people shit on my legacy. That ain't finna happen, dog. So, you know, I'm going to start telling niggas to turn their mics on. That's on these lists.
Listen, I think from my standpoint, right, when it comes to Crooked Eye, I feel like there's a fearful chill that comes over a lot of MCs when you get mentioned. You know what I'm saying? Like, even the joint that we did, right, like for Paige Kennedy, right?
Yeah.
Know you was gonna be on it. So, you know, I don't think anybody knew you were gonna be on it. But once we heard that you were on it, we just kind of all was like, well, that's that. Before we even heard the verse, you know, it's like one of those things where we know what you're gonna do, and that kind of, if we know you're gonna be on a particular joint, we gonna rev it up because this is who you are. And I feel like this was something that I mentioned to Royce last week. I was like, the same way Black musicians shouldn't feel validated by the companies, us as lyricists, we need to create our own award ceremony. We need to create something where we honor each other,
We give out a Lifetime Achievement Award for lyricism. Who had the best bar of the year? Who had the best rhyme of the year? Who had the best song of the year? Who had the best concept, the best storytelling? And it's polled by a jury of our own peers.
Man, right? Sign me up, please, Mickey. Sign me the fuck up.
Because I feel like you're saying, right? Like, there's no reason why you should feel the way you feel as talented as you are. Like, there wouldn't, like, as much as, like, my A&R, he put out, in 2008, he put out a song, and then he kept putting out a song, kept putting out a song, kept putting out a song, and I was like, I don't know why you're doing that. Because you was already doing it in August. You had started it in August as a freestyle. But then we started putting out songs every week, and it was like, oh, this is crazy. But you were the blueprint for that, right? And without that, I wouldn't be who I am. And then the people that followed after that, the Currencies, the Charles Hamiltons, the Asher Roths, and all of these guys, we took what you did and we ran with it. So I feel like your spot in a lot of MCs' hearts and your core following know what you do, but then there needs to be some sort of acknowledgement. There needs to be some sort of flowers given once a year for us, because it doesn't make sense that we're left off of list after list after list after list. They put out a top 50 rappers, and there's like maybe 2 or 3 lyricists that we would respect on there, or the verse of the year, and we're halfway through the year and you only see like 4 verses that we would be like, okay, I respect that. You know?
Right. Nah, you're absolutely right, Doug. Like, I'm ready to invest in that. Just let me know. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a brilliant idea, and we need that. And I feel like that will incentivize the next generation to want to be mentioned next year. Like, yo, I got to get on my pen game because Mickey and them about to be doing this awards next year. You know what I'm saying? Just how it was with the hip hop quotable for us in the Source and the 5 mics for us, you know?
Exactly.
Like, that's going to bring that energy back. And that energy is going to upgrade the pens out here. You feel me? Right. So I'm on board with that. And I do want to thank you, man, for them flowers, because, you know, it take a real quality MC in person to say all those things you just said, bro. I know some people who will go to their grave without saying that, even though they know it's facts.
Crazy.
You feel me? So I salute you on that, man. Your idea is brilliant too, dog. And hey, shout out to all the rap connoisseurs in the comments. I see y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Much love to y'all. Last question, and then we out. Daylight versus King Los. Who you got?
I'm going with Daylight.
Going with Daylight. 2-1?
Yeah, but I think it's going to be a photo finish. It's like they've been saying. To me, King Los is one of the greatest.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? King Los is one of the greatest. He like my little brothers and them, they really got him up there super high, man. And I do too. Right. He's one of the greatest to do this shit. You know, but there's a difference between rhyming on beats and doing that battle shit. And I've seen him in the battle space, and he's good over there. But Daylight is one of the greatest over there in that space. You see what I'm saying? So if the roles were reversed, in my opinion, and it was Daylight on the beat with King Los, I'm giving it to King Los. If it's Daylight and King Los in the ring, I'm giving it to Daylight. Right. You see what I'm saying? Right. And that's just a small little fucking, you know, gap. But they're going to be talking, man. We going to Mount Olympus that day. The gods is finna be talking, bro.
Are you pulling up? You pulling up, or you going to be in LA for it?
I might pull up, because I might have to pull up to that. That's going to be so cold right there, man. Man, impossible to miss out on, man. Shout out to them brothers, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, listen, Crooked, man. Hopefully, you know, I know Roy said he was down to reschedule. I don't know what's up with him. I'm gonna hit him later. I know his birthday's tomorrow, so you know, we're going
today actually. Well, his birthday. No, Roy's birthday was yesterday, right?
Roy's birthday was yesterday. Kaz's birthday tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So
okay,
we're gonna try to reschedule this, because I do want it. I did want it to be like a regional thing, right? Like, and that's the reason why I asked you some specific questions about it, because I feel like to know where you got your style from, how it came to fruition on the West, here Cass in Philly, and then here Royce in the Midwest, you know what I'm saying? And then when when somebody leave, bring up Sci-Hi, or Sari, the kid from the South, to kind of get their perspective of it as well. But, you know, we're going to reschedule it, hopefully, if not this week, next week. And, yeah, man, this was great. Appreciate you.
Great conversation, my brother. Yeah, I'll come back because it's still so much untapped. Like, once you get all those guys in the room, then I could start talking about how West Coast beats sound different. And that also influences shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I can't wait to have a conversation with you, my brother. Thanks for having me, man.
Brother, much love to you, King.
Much love, baby. Peace.
Wow. That was a crazy situation right there. We're gonna bring Cass and Royce in with Crook either later this week or next week, just to kind of, you know, fulfill what it is that we was trying to get done. But obviously, I don't know what's going on with Cass. When I spoke to him, he said he was going to pull up at 5 when I spoke to him yesterday. So, you know, I'm going to talk to him about it. And Royce said he's down to do it again. So we'll definitely have Royce and Banks on here. Not Banks, pardon me. Royce and Crooked on here next time. And I'll see what's up with Cass. And, you know, obviously Banks is folding merch. I don't know what's going on. He's out. He's handling his own work, which is good. But yeah, man, we'll tap back in next week, man. Don't even worry about it. We're gonna spin the block. And yes, I'm saving this convo, so make sure you tune in to my IG Live television channel. All right, peace, guys.